Labour Party MP Russell Moyle, thanks for joining us today.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you. So could you please give us some information about All Parliamentary Group on Kurdistan in Syria and Turkey, very short, very briefly?
Well, in the last parliament, we had a number of all parliamentary groups, one for Kurdistan in Iraq, for Iran, for Rojava, and for Turkey. The Iraq one will remain separate, but the other ones, particularly Turkey and Syria, we've decided to join forces, partly because it was the same people working on those issues, and these are broader issues. We will, of course, be continuing our solidarity work with Rojava and northeast Syria, and that's very important. But this year, we want to focus on the political situation in Turkey. Turkey is meant to be a NATO ally, and therefore one of our closest allies in the region. But democracy is at threat there. They supposedly have the most journalists in the world arrested, and they continue to routinely dismiss parliamentarians, particularly of Kurdish descent. So we're wanting to launch an inquiry onto this issue to try and address those issues. So that's what the All Party Group is doing.
So the All Parliamentary Group APPG on Kurdistan and Syria, Turkey launched an inquiry into the treatment of Kurdish politicians and Kurdish communities in Turkey. Could you please give us some more information about the inquiry and what is the planning for the inquiry?
Well, the inquiry will be cross-party, as the All-Party Parliamentary Group name suggests, and that means that it is. It will be myself leading it with two Conservatives, Crispin Blunt, who is a very senior Conservative, who we have worked together before on these issues. He was previously chairperson of the Foreign Affairs Select Committee, and before that, and since that, he has also come and visited us in northeastern Syria. Alex Stafford will be the other Conservative joining us, and I think it's really important to have that cross balance there, as well as we'll have SNP members and other Labour members. What we've done is we've put a call out with the terms of reference, and anyone can write back on them, and we've got a few weeks to respond, and based on the evidence, we will then ask for people to come and do oral hearings.
This inquiry is supported by the Conservative MPs as well. Why do you think it's a cross-party issue now?
Well, we know, for example, in northeastern Syria, the Kurdish forces are allies. The same, of course, is true in Iraq. And the situation in Turkey is far more complex. But there are many Conservatives concerned about what Turkey is doing, and are very concerned, particularly because they have constituents, Kurdish constituents, as I do, who really feel very strongly about this and have spoken to their members of parliament. And that is an important part of our cross-party work.
So in your view, in what direction is Turkey heading now, and what are the prospects for the democratization in Turkey?
That is exactly what the inquiry is meant to answer. It would be wrong for me to give you a definite answer now. My impression is that things are not going in a very good direction in Turkey. We now have all this argument, of course, with the kind of presidential style of Erdogan, but more generally, we see the continuation of arrests and arbitrary dismissals of democratically elected politicians, and not just HDP politicians, who, of course, it is very worrying about. But even that has extended to where CHP, and the CHP have not been huge allies to the Kurds in this, but even when you have CHP politicians making gentle noises of support, they're also arrested and tried. So this extension of not just people who are Kurds, but anyone who says anything that isn't agreeable with the government is very worrying. Now, we would like to receive evidence from the Turkish to explain their situation, and they should explain themselves to us. But we also want people to give us examples of how they feel their democratic participation has been. And we hope that that will inform a debate that we will hold in Parliament after this report is published in March. And we will hope to have a few-hour debate there where the minister will have to respond. We hope for that, but we have to get the report done first.
Dear Labour Party MP Russell Moyle, thanks for joining us. Thank you for your comments and giving us information about the inquiry.
Good night.
Thank you.